Hello, everybody. My name is Rory. This is my buddy over here. Over here. Bird Dog. What's up, Bird? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up? How's it going?
What's up? Welcome back to episode 3 of Curbside Sports. We're just two guys like we're out on the corner talking sports outside, having a beer, whatever the case may be. We got a lot of things to get into, so we're going to try and make this as painless as possible. Bird, what do you think about that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's talk about some NBA playoffs. So right now, you got the Miami Heat, who is up 3-1 on the New York Nets, but they are getting skull drug right now in the third quarter, 72-54. So
yes, they're getting their butts handed to them right now. It seems to me that the Knicks just don't want to go quietly into the night, so they're going to try and make this a series. I still don't think they'll end up pulling it out, but it looks like they could potentially pull this one out. However, still a little over 6 minutes left in third, and you still got a whole fourth quarter, so we'll see what happens.
So I am no sport genius, but if I'm looking at this series and I'm the Knicks, I hire a couple guys, take out Jimmy Butler. It's over. You advance. This is it. So that's it, Knicks fans. Listen to that. Hire a couple of guys, take Jimmy Butler out, and you are good to go. And you advance to the next round.
Well, and here's a cool little tidbit too. You know, Miami is 1 win away from becoming the first 8 seed to reach the conference finals since the 98-99 season of the team that they're playing against as we speak. So that's
how crazy is that?
That's pretty interesting in and of itself right there.
It really comes down to Jimmy Butler, man. I mean, that's what the Heat rides on. So, I mean, if the Knicks can do what they're doing, I mean, they're still in an uphill battle. I mean, Miami's got to win one game to close this thing out. So,
of course,
I agree with you. I think they're pretty much a shoe-in. Unless the Knicks can produce some magic and somehow take it to 7 games. But I see them winning this game, but I see next game going to the Heat.
I agree. And like I said, you know, Miami could throw on and go on like I've seen it happen before where a team just goes on like a 12-point tear, good defense, and then like another 10-point tear, and then before you know it, it's totally in the hands of the Heat. So, all right, man. What else you got?
Yep. So talking about Eastern Conference, we got the 76ers versus the Celtics. Right now, the Sixers are up 3-2. What a heck of a series, man! I tell you, I sound like a broken record each time we come on this podcast. But
this is your favorite one out of this is your favorite one, man.
This is the one that just has been a slugger fest between the two of them. And it's the one that I believe will end up representing the East in the NBA Finals. So that's why I think, we talked in the last podcast about how sometimes the series ends up being better than some of the finals. And I think this one's going to a Game 7, man. I think Boston, I think they'll win tomorrow. And then I think they have, then it'll be Game 7 at Boston. And then that'll be, talk about an atmosphere there, man.
Definitely going to have to sit down and watch that game with a cold one and some popcorn. That's for darn sure. Cool little tidbit on this series as well, too. Embiid is on the brink of advancing past Boston to the conference finals for the first time in his career. So if he wants to do that and make that milestone in his career, he's going to have to keep in that MVP form. Would you not agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's staying healthy for him because, he's already had some knee problems, but dude is phenomenal. I mean, if you watch him, I don't know anybody that wouldn't want him on their team. So, yeah, I completely agree with you on that, man.
He can move up and down the court with ease. He runs like a point guard. He's got a nice mid-range shot. He hit a 3. I mean, he's an amazing player. And the thing that I like about him is, man, he plays D. He plays D. I love it. I absolutely love it.
He really does, and he doesn't mind getting dirty in the paint. So yeah,
No,
for
no,
sure.
he's very much old school in that aspect. And I appreciate the hustle and the heart and he's excellent with the media, and he just comes across as a very humble guy, and he doesn't get into all of that talking and hoopla. He just lets his game speak for itself, and I love that nowadays because you don't see it much in the NBA anymore.
Yep. So I don't know who you got. You got what's your prediction for that
Oh,
series?
Philly. I got Philly. I jumped on the bandwagon with you. I'm a huge Embiid fan. I think what I think Doc Rivers' team is gonna end up being outmatched, and I think you're right. It's gonna come down to Game 7. I think Philly wins Game 7 by 9. I think that's my prediction, and they go on to represent the East, man.
All right. All right. So, all right, going next, we're heading over to the western side. So you got the Denver Nuggets who are leading the Phoenix Suns 3-2 right now.
Yep.
Last game, Nuggets won 118-102. So they play tomorrow night. I mean, I still think Denver wins this series. I think Durant and them are putting up a hell of a fight, but I don't see anyone that Djokovic still overmatches them. So I still
Nikola
see,
Jokic, dude. So
yeah,
interesting thing with Jokic, he's passed Wilt Chamberlain for the most triple doubles in a career in NBA playoff history. And with his
yeah,
last game at 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists, that's maddening.
yeah.
That's maddening.
That's
That's just bonkers, man. That's bonkers.
man.
And to do that over Wilt Chamberlain, who was one of the
Yeah,
greatest of all time. I mean, that's a heck of an achievement. And to go off of what you said, Denver to me just looks too strong for Phoenix. I think Phoenix. Uh, they tip off tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern. I think Denver closes it out. I think they win tomorrow.
yeah. I agree with you. I don't know. It may go to Game 7. I
Don't
don't
say
know.
that. I don't want, dude. I want a healthy. This is what I want. I want a healthy Philly and a healthy Denver, in the championship. However, I don't. Well, I have, I have conspiracy theories. You and I'll get to that at a later date. Anyway, moving on.
All right, so moving on. Another great series. You have the Lakers versus the Warriors, which the Lakers are up 3-1. Who saw this coming? I mean, wow. LeBron, Davis, both playing lights out. Last game, real close, 104-101, which really the Lakers had a pretty significant lead on them at one point. So they play tonight.
Yep, 10 o'clock Eastern.
For LA, they need to close it out. Like they need to close this out so that they can go into the next series.
This game has me on pins and needles, and this is why. Okay. You ever seen a cow get trapped in like the Nile River surrounded by piranhas? And it's just like the water splashing and there's blood going all over the place. And it's just like this frantic, like, who can get the last freaking bite in?
Yeah.
That is what this game is going to be. It's I honestly think that you're going to see Steph and Clay they're just going to let it arc from the 3-point line. They are just going to let it arc. I guarantee you they're going to try and get those guys in definitely. And you and I kind of touched on this earlier, and I'm going to make this really quick, is with those two guys on the outside, they're going to have to bring the defense up on the 3-point line to try and contest those 3-point shots. I really think that's going to open it up for the big man from Michigan State to get some points in the paint. What do you think, man?
Draymond, yeah.
Draymond, yeah.
Yeah, they need to win tonight. So I think LA's got an uphill battle. I don't know if if you're LA, do you go for the juggler tonight, try to win it and close it out? I would say yeah, but you got to expect Golden State is going to be on it. And if they come out swinging and LA gets down quick, I mean, I may end up resting LeBron and Davis and say, "Hey, wait till
Take
next
the
game."
L and save them.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the other thing
exactly.
too. LA's going to want to close this out tonight, and the reason being is because that's rest days going into
Oh
the next
yeah,
series.
yeah.
You know,
But I'm saying if they get down quick, it may be one of those. All right, we may not waste our time on this game because I
like
tell you, I believe Golden State's going to come out firing tonight.
so do I. So do I. So do I. All
So,
right. Well, I think you know what? Unfortunately, I got LA winning this. I do. I got LA
yeah,
winning this. If it's not tonight, it'll be 2 days from now. I think with the way it's been going, it's been Golden State, Miami, Golden State, Miami. You know, it's
yeah,
just if we're gonna keep leapfrogging like that, I mean, LA, in my opinion, they just got the upper hand right now. They just got the upper
yeah,
hand, dude. That's all
yeah.
it's really come down to.
All right, so rolling into NHL playoffs, we'll go through this real quickly. So you got the Panthers and the Maple Leafs. So right now, the Panthers, they're up 3-0 on the Maple Leafs. Wow.
Yeah, well, and
Wow.
as we speak right now, too, we're in the third quarter with 10 minutes left, and it's still Maple Leafs 1-0. So, anything's possible at this point. Definitely, I will say my initial people to watch were for Florida was Matt Chekhuk, who's the left wing for Florida. He's their big baller. He's the guy that kind of gets everybody up and running as far as the first lineup is concerned. And then for the Maple Leafs, I really thought that the person to look at was Morgan Riley, the defenseman, who's had an excellent playoff run in the first round as well too. And the goalies are pretty much neck and neck. So really, it's going to come down to the pressure of a 24-year-old goalie, Joseph Wall. Can he take the heat from the Panthers? And it looks like he's doing a pretty good job right now. So he's answered the call.
Yeah. I would think the Maple Leafs pulled this out tonight just because of statistics and sports.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But I'm still on the Panthers bandwagon, so I hope they close it out.
Maple Leafs just scored again.
So yeah.
Yep, Maple Leafs just scored again.
And
So now you're looking at 2-0 with 9:15 left as we speak. So
they're in the third period, right?
Yeah, third period. Yep, you only got less than 10 minutes in the third. So their defense must be playing really, really well too, because not a lot of shots on goal from the Panthers.
There you go. All right, next in the series, you got the Hurricanes versus the Devils. So the Hurricanes are up 3-1. So what do you like about this series?
I like Jack Hughes, the center. He facilitates really, really well. He's the reason why Jersey even got the one game. So I'm hoping that he can kind of make this a series. I'd like to see New Jersey kind of make this a series because Carolina has just been so dominant. They've just been so dominant. And then you got Martinook, left wing for Carolina, who's just been lights out. I think what's happening is just so many shots on goal. You got to think, man, dude, 19 shots on goal, and they scored 6 goals last game with only 19 shots on goal. That's accuracy at its finest at the highest level.
Yeah.
So I just don't think New Jersey can handle the sharp shooting. I think Carolina, they play tomorrow at 7 Eastern. I think Carolina closes it out tomorrow.
I agree with you. So, all right, moving on to the next series, you got Seattle versus Dallas. Even series 2-2. I like.
Now you were high up on Dallas, man.
No, not Dallas. Seattle.
Oh, was it Seattle?
Yeah,
okay.
Because Seattle's a 4 seed, so they're underdogs.
That's right. That's right. Okay, that's right. You did say correct. Okay. All right.
And I still am. I'm still on it.
I see that. My mistake. I take that back. They tip off at 9:30 tomorrow. Players to watch for: Max Domi, center, number 18, for Dallas. And then your defenseman, Vince Dunn, number 29 for Seattle. Those are the 2 guys that are really going to make a difference in these games. both goalies. Both of these are probably two of the best goalies in my opinion. You realize that their goal blocking percentage is above 90%.
Wow.
So the fact that
That's awesome.
Seattle and Dallas are even scoring goals is it's pretty good. So that's a testament to the shooting. This can go either way. I have no clue. I have no idea, but I like Seattle. I do. I like what Vince has done. With the movement of the puck, making excellent crisp passes, and making sure that his wings are getting good shots on the goal. I think Seattle. I think Seattle game six. Game
All
six.
right. All right. All right. Yeah, well, I'm with Seattle all the way. So, all
Yeah, I
right,
know you
next
are.
in the series, you got the LA Golden Knights versus the Oilers. So, right now, the Knights are up 2-1 in the series. They play tonight. What's your thoughts on this one?
I'm just a Vegas fan. They're one of the new kids on the block, and they just I said this I think in our first two shows. These guys, what they've done since day one coming into the NHL is nothing shy of amazing. Here they are again on another potential championship run. I like Vegas, even though they've been short lived. They have championship pedigree, and I just don't see Edmonton pulling this out. I think that tonight Las Vegas goes up 3-1. I really do. And take one from are they I believe are they in Edmonton tonight?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I think they take this one out of Edmonton. I thought I had written that down, but apparently I didn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just Vegas, man. Vegas. Players to watch for center Connor McDavid. Edmonton. He's their heart and soul of the Edmonton team. And then Mark Stone is he's just gangster. He's one of the best players in the NHL. I mean, he's all over the place. He leads stats and like damn near everything. So I think Mark Stone is just he's the guy that's going to put the puck in the net. And then your goalies again, man, 89% shots blocked. So the fact that Vegas and Edmonton are putting pucks in the net is just a testament to both their shooting skills as well. But I just think that with Mark Stone, they got the edge.
Awesome. All right, man. So in the future, we're gonna get some music where this goes.
You know what? So real quick
points.
on that, man. So there's all types of. I found out that there's all types of licensing issues. I can't just play Spotify in the background because
I get
in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought since I paid for this stuff, I could just go ahead and play it because I'm playing it in my car. Why can't I play it on the show? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into what we like to go ahead and call talking points.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and start this one off, and you go ahead and you jump on in whenever you feel. So one of the things I want to talk about is what does it mean for LeBron to win it all? And my thing is, I think this means everything. I think if he doesn't make it to the championship and pull a ring off this year, I don't think he's making it back. I really, really don't. And, with 4 rings currently, and really I'd say 3, I do not count the bubble ring, the COVID ring. That was a cockamamie season at best. And really, to me, I'm looking at 3 rings. Yeah, on paper it says 4, but really 3. He's already proclaimed himself as the greatest player, so now he needs to live up to it. And I just don't see it, man. What do you think?
I think in the NBA, anything's possible. So I think with LeBron, so if he's on a good enough team that can carry him through the season. So let's say he gets injured and he's out half the season, or injured or whatever, and they need him in the playoffs. I think he's good enough still in the later stage of his career that he could still elevate a team to a championship. So I wouldn't say that this year is the end all for him. I would say the window is closing though. Like he only has a select number of years left. And then after that, he's going to either have to reinvent himself or try to get on a team that, like I said, that can help carry him toward the end. But no, I think they have a good chance to win it this year. Nah, I don't know.
What I'm starting to see is NBA separation from LeBron. And what I mean by that is, first he wanted Chris Paul. Chris Paul pretty much told him to kick sand. And then just with a shoe signing deal with Doncic, Doncic told LeBron, no, dude, I want nothing to do with you, and went ahead and signed with Jordan. LeBron even came out and it was like, well, maybe it's me. No, it is you, dude. It's not maybe. It is you. People are starting to see that you've set the trend for these so-called super teams, and you jumped ship so many times. It looks bad on a resume now. It's like, okay, we did Cleveland, we did Miami, we did back to Cleveland, and now we're in LA. And there have been rumors throughout this season and last season that you were looking to potentially go on over to Golden State and everything too. And Steph Curry pretty much shut that down in a heartbeat before it even became a loud talk. He was like, nah, dude. So I don't think that there's anybody. I think he's with LA now. I think this is it. I don't think he leaves LA and goes somewhere else. I really don't. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't see it. I think if he's going to do a year and get a ring, I think this is going to be the year he's going to have to do it. That's my opinion. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, if he sticks with LA, it's evident that LA will go spend money, and LA will try to put what they can around him to win. So, I mean, that's why I said
the key word. Try.
It is try, but
try.
Like I said, all you have to do is make it to the playoffs. That's it. Once you make it to the playoffs, it's a whole new series, and everything can change. Look, they limped into the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And right now they're looking like the team that may be representing the West in the NBA finals. Like, that's how good they're playing. So all he needs to be is on a team that can just make it to the playoffs. And I'm telling you, he still has the ability to elevate a team. He did it in Cleveland. He can still do it now. He can elevate a team where they can win a championship. Now, I know it's hard. It's tough. But look, if there's one guy that can do it, we know it's probably him, right?
No, yeah. And I mean, I hate to say that because, you know, my disdain for the guy.
Yeah.
But I don't take anything away. When he decides when he decides that he wants to play, he's the greatest player in the NBA, even at his age right now. When he decides to, but when he gets all pouty and he gets all crybaby and he gets all whiny and he's flailing his arms and he's going to his knees and he's yelling to the ceiling in the rafters, why? You know, nobody wants to deal with that, man. He's got this diva streak nobody wants to touch, and it's apparent. It is so apparent, which is why I believe that LA is going to, you know, they're going to have to pony up a lot of money to get big names that are young and hot to play with him, because even LA ownership, you know, Ms. Buss, she knows this dude's a diva. She knows it. Everybody knows it. So it's going to, that's why I'm saying he's close now. You see what I'm saying? Next year, he's so far away. He's close now. And that's my point is, if you're going to get a ring, LeBron, and you really want to boast the fact that you are the greatest of all time, you win a ring this year. Okay. I'll put you on Mount Rushmore. I will. But if you don't, you've been nothing but hot air as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay. Hey, so I want to go ahead and talk about your boys. I know you, Bird, you're a big Michigan football fan. And Michigan has won the Big Ten title 2 years in a row. And with 2023 coming up in the recruiting class that Harbaugh got, and the pickup for the offensive line, and three key guys for the offensive line coming back, and a running back that is just killer to boot. Does Michigan three-peat as Big Ten championships for the Big Ten championship this year? Do you think they three-peat?
There's a good chance. I mean, if you look at their schedule, I don't know. It's crazy because it seems like the big schools are starting to get these like just really cupcake schedules. But like you look at Michigan's schedule, Eastern Carolina, they're going to win that. UNLV, they're going to win that. Bowling Green, they're going to win that. Then you start Big Ten play, which listen to this hardcore schedule, okay? You got Rutgers, you have at Nebraska, at Minnesota, versus Indiana, at Michigan State. And Michigan State is a nightmare right now. I don't know if Michigan State will pull out 3 victories this coming season.
I was going to say 2.
Yeah, Purdue, you can never tell with Purdue. Penn State's a top 10 team, so we'll see. But I'm not a James Franklin guy. I don't believe in James Franklin. I don't think he will ever amount to anything at Penn State other than what he has. He's hit his ceiling.
Yeah.
But anyway, Maryland, they're always tricky, but I don't think Michigan's going to have a problem with them. And then the key is that Michigan won at Ohio State last year, so they get the advantage of playing at home versus Ohio State this year.
The big house.
Yeah, Michigan returns a lot of starters, especially on offense. J.J. McCarthy comes back. Ohio State has to start a new quarterback. You know, you can never discount Ohio State because they're always in the top 5, you know, it seems like. So they're going to be there in the conversation at the end. But when you look at everything on paper, Michigan should be able to win another Big Ten championship this year. They have everything set in place. They have all the key players in place. There's no gaping holes on defense or on offense. So in my opinion, yeah, they should. Now, does that mean Harbaugh screws that up? Hey, we've seen it happen before, so I'm not going to say that it can't happen. But the reality is, as talented as that team is, they should win the Big Ten again this year.
Well, the thing that I was looking at, and I agree with everything that you just said, the thing that I was looking at is, you know, with J.J. McCarthy coming back, you know, the good thing is he's got Blake Corum still in the backfield. You know, Blake Corum is going to have a killer season. You know, the guy had 247 carries last season, 1,463 rushing yards, average 5.9. That's stout. That's stout at any level. I don't care. That's stout. And the cool thing that I really like, and you know that I'm a big offensive line and defensive line guy. That's where I feel the heart of football is. Your offensive line will probably be the top, if not one of the top 3, maybe as low as top 5, but still elite. You know, you got Jeez, Pete's, dude. So many big guys coming back, and you also picked up a killer in Ladarius Henderson out of ASU. You know, 6'3", 315 pounds. He's going to be an instant impact on your line. Zach Zinter, he's a pro player. Trevor Keegan, he's a pro player. I just think that you guys are going to just run. Yeah. And then with J.J. McCarthy, you know, he ups his percentage from 64% to just like 67, 68. You're talking 3,000 plus passing yards and probably close to 28 to 32 touchdowns, you know? And I think you guys are geared. And you guys didn't really lose anybody on defense. You lost who's the big tackle or defensive end? Who's the defensive end that you guys lost?
I can't think of it right now.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Anyway, all right, we're having a brain fart right now. No big deal. But I think that what Michigan's got going on as far as, and then also recruiting, man. I mean, you guys had a really good recruiting class coming up as well too, and a really good one last year. So I
Yeah,
just don't.
and he won the transfer portal this year as far as, Harbaugh went. So yeah, recruiting was big, and that transfer portal was big because those guys can pretty much start like
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
So they're like automatic upgrades to your team.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
So I'm thinking Michigan. I'm thinking Michigan's going to three-peat, and based off of that schedule that you showed me too. I mean, dude, if I don't see you guys having a problem
Yeah.
until you guys get to Ohio State. I really don't. I really, really don't.
All right.
Um, okay. All right. So I think Michigan's gonna three-peat. I do. My next question that I had up was talking point, and let me see what you think off of this too. Does Justin Fields have a breakout season for the Chicago Bears this year? Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe. I'm gonna say that if it is, it's because he's really, really worked out the kinks of the playbook and understanding the playbook. I think that was his big problem. They haven't really opened up the playbook for him, and his athleticism kind of saved his butt last year as far as, being able to be that potential big playmaker. We picked up some receivers. We got some guys on the offensive line. Chicago Bears defense is ready to roll. We just need a guy at the helm that can go ahead and make sound decisions. And I think Justin Fields can do it, but the jury's still out. I don't know. I would have more to answer this question after I watch, say, maybe like the first 2 to 3 regular season games. I want him to have one because I'm a diehard Bears fan. I do. I want him to have one, but I'm just not sure if he's got that playbook ready and rearing. What do you think?
Here's the thing, man. You always get quarterbacks in the first year. If you see some promise, it's like, okay, this guy might be it, right? And it's so rare that it turns out to be that guy, Um, with Justin Fields, if he don't learn to throw to wide open receivers and doesn't learn to throw down to his checkdowns, he will not last long in this league at all. He is a hell of an athlete. He made some great runs last year, but he made some bonehead plays too. And look, I get it. He's a rookie and he's going to a sophomore year. He's got to be able to elevate his game because now, look, you got NFL defensive coordinators. They're not going to let you run all over their defense. They're if you're not going to throw to wide open guys, they're pretty much going to tell their defense, look, he's not going to throw. Go after him.
Yeah,
So for Fields, how much can he mature? He has the athletic ability. He has the talent. Can he mature? Can he step up into that role and actually be an NFL quarterback? Because being an NFL quarterback is you got to be a smart guy. You got to be able to read. You got to be able to understand what's going on around you. You got to be able to change things quickly. Can he do that? Can he grasp that offense with the Bears? I look, and I'm not saying it as a hater, but the odds are is he probably won't. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it's hard to hit that to get that ace in the hole. Um,
absolutely.
so I don't know because I've seen so many times it not happen. I would say realistically, no, I don't think he's going to have a breakout season. I think he's going to struggle this season. And then I think the jury's going to be out next year. Do the Bears end up drafting another quarterback or do they stick with Fields? And if they do stick with Fields, it's going to be up to Fields to elevate himself to where he is that incumbent starter. But that is where I honestly see that going. And I hope it doesn't because I don't ever wish for that. Like But unfortunately, you see it so much. They're dealing with it in New England right now.
Yes, they
Mac
are.
Jones, this is a prove it year. You can make all the excuses you want about Matt Patricia and the offense last year, but at the end of the day, you're judged on your stats and what you're contributing to the team. And when it comes down to Mac this year, he's got to prove it. So I think, Fields, it just depends. It just depends on how quick he can grab. Maybe he gets it like Justin Herbert and he picks it right up. But if he doesn't, man, it's going to be a long season,
And that's the thing that I was looking at the most is some of his throws last season, he actually had some really good throws. He did. And then like you said, he had some bonehead decisions as well too. But I think that was because of lack of connection between knowing where the spacing was on the route and having that chemistry with the receivers as well. And for me, I think it just comes down for him. It's knowing the playbook. I really, really feel it was just lack of playbook knowledge last year. Yeah. And then, because you could see, he'll drop back and then it'll be like, it's almost like he forgot the play and he's like, oh shit, I better take off running. So I feel that it's definitely a knowledge thing. And I'm really hoping that during this off season, he's really hunkered down and figured out what plays work for him, what progressions work for him, audibles, his check downs, that's really gonna. Did you want a quarterback who can get up to the line, and not everybody's going to be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, but you want a quarterback who can get up on the line and be like, okay, this isn't right. This is what we need to do. Call out some audibles, and then before you know it, it's a 35-yard play downfield. That's what you're looking for, and that's what I'm hoping comes. But to answer this question for myself, the jury is still out. I don't think so. I agree with you. I think he's going to struggle some more, but I hope he proves me wrong. So.
All right, you want to jump on to, or do you want to finish yours out?
Nah, we can go ahead and let's jump on yours. This last one was kind of stupid, but I'll let it was just kind of a fill-in. This is something that maybe we can talk about next time. We can save this.
We'll do that.
It's a fun little question. It's just like, is it okay to root for both teams in your city if you have two to root for? We're not going to go into it, but I thought that would be a fun question, and it's a very precise question too, because really it's just Chicago, New York, and LA that pretty much have that going on right now. So, but I'm very interested in what you got going on, so I'm gonna let you take over.
Yeah, so the first topic I got is I saw that Primetime has 60 plus players that have transferred since his arrival to the University of Colorado. And I'm like, 60 plus players. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw a meme that the mascot went into the transfer portal too.
The mascot went into the portal. Yeah. No way. What?
So I'm like, what are the realistic expectations of this team this year? He did get some transfers to come over with him.
Did he get transfers? He got like, he got like buku transfers.
He did, but 60 plus players?
Well,
man.
Okay. So I'm sure you saw the footage of when he first showed up and he made changes to like the weight facility and the media facility, and he's doing all these things. They had their own sayings up on the wall, and he's like, take that stuff down. This is what we're doing. And then, of course, the viral video where he sits down in front of everybody and he's like, pretty much tells them, he's like, you guys might as well jump into the portal. I mean, who does that as a coach? Who does that? And I don't know whether he was trying to call, if he thought that they were going to call his bluff or not, but I'm pretty sure he's sitting there going, man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. He could have gone through that whole spiel without saying that and still kind of gotten his point across. So I think that's why he's had the mass exodus, is what he's had.
They open up against TCU.
Oh, they're going to get creamed.
It's not, I don't even think that one's going to be close, man.
They're going to get
I don't know.
creamed.
I don't know. I don't know how TCU is going to be this year, though.
So TCU, they got a lot of folks coming back. I mean, it's practically the same team. Let's see here. But getting back to Colorado, so Deion Sanders also set a record as far as transfers are concerned. Over like 2/3 of the players that he's got coming in are transfers, and they're not just like Giacomo transfers, man. I mean, these are guys from Missouri, Ole Miss, Florida State, Baylor, Marshall, Washington, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee. I mean, he's getting players. Now, here's the thing. 24/7 does a really, really good job. 24/7 Sports does a really, really good job as far as keeping up with the players that have stayed and that have left and entered portals and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
He's still sitting at the overall ranking of 20, and he's got enough here to put a football team on the field. It's not going to be very deep, but I think he's going to get his ass kicked next year.
Look, I saw when Rich Rod came to in which prime time he's got more than what Rich Rod had at Michigan his first year, but it's hard when you don't have the depth, and you're gonna deal with injuries, and you're playing in a pretty tough Pac-12 schedule this year, so they got to play Oregon, USC, UCLA, Washington State, and Utah. I mean, that's pretty rough, and you're gonna have players go down. So I don't know. We're gonna see what what their depth chart's gonna be like. But I just think I think the expectations for Colorado is to possibly compete for a Pac-12 championship this year, and I'm like, man, I don't see that. It's too much uncertainty there, So, all right.
You were a head coach at an HBCU school. You went undefeated 2 years in a row and then lost the championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I don't see how that translates to a Division I school that hasn't had double-digit wins since 2002, and they just came off of a 1-win season. So now you're telling me that you're going to compete for a Pac-12 championship this year? I don't care who you bring in, man. Yeah. I don't care who you bring in, because you had the best players at the HBCU level, and you couldn't get it done there for the ultimate prize. So I don't see how this translates. I really don't.
All right. So next subject, I said, do you think Alabama takes back over the SEC this year? Because the Dogs have been top dog for the past 2 years, and Bama has been close, but it just hasn't seemed to be Bama-like or Bama-esque. So they got a new quarterback starting, right? What's his name? Jalen Milroe, I think is his name, replacing Bryce Young. So, I for me, I believe in Saban. He is the GOAT when it comes to college football. I think he will have that team. I looked at their schedule too, and it's pretty soft. But the SEC West is going to be wild, dude. it's going to be wild, man. I can't wait to see the West this year. Between Hugh Freeze at Auburn, Ole Miss with Kiffin, I forgot what's his name died over at Starksville, Leach, and then anyway, you still got Arkansas, Texas A&M, you got Brian Kelly over at LSU. The West is just going to be a fun time to watch this coming up year, and I think everybody has tried to go out to get a coach that can beat Saban, and I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through that gauntlet again and get back to that top spot in the SEC West. It is a grueling road for them.
I think the monster of the West is going to be LSU. I think the monster of the West is going to be LSU. And I hate to say it because, that was Notre Dame's old coach and Brian Kelly. I don't have any disdain for the man. I understand why he left. It's very, very difficult to coach at the University of Notre Dame. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's cold. You have to recruit from all over the country because Indiana is just not known for its football prowess as far as what Louisiana is known for. I mean, Brian Kelly can stick his foot out the door and recruit 5 guys for each position at a high level in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, he could literally just recruit from Louisiana every year and pretty much put up a winning season, if not a championship season. I don't think Alabama is going to be the king of the hill. I think it's going to be LSU. I mean, Texas, and I wanted to say Texas A&M for the longest time, but even with the recruiting class and what that moron's done out there with that, he's just driven it into the freaking ground. Texas A&M on paper looks like they should be murdering everybody, but
I'm pretty sure he's gone now, right?
He is gone, but he's still, but players don't want to go there because he's kind of ruined the field. He left Florida State for the same freaking reason. It caught up to him much quicker at Texas A&M. So, the word is out, that he's not the head coach that everybody thought he was. He needed a great quarterback in order to win a championship, and that's exactly what happened. So, but as far as coaching is concerned, Nick Saban is the GOAT. I never count Alabama out, but to piggyback off of what you said, that's ice skating uphill right now. It's ice skating uphill. I mean, to make it through that and then potentially have to play Georgia, because Georgia's winning dude, can we be on? Like, Georgia's got it. Like, who's beating them?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I tell you what, South Carolina went on a tear last year at the end of it. So I think you're gonna have some teams in the East step up, because anytime you get a team that's going to start dominating, the other teams start recruiting, or not recruiting, but start to try to get coaches, try to get in the people that can beat those teams. So South Carolina, that'll be a real interesting game this year against Georgia. Florida will be a really good, interesting game. Auburn will be a good, interesting game. Tennessee. I mean, the East is going to be a good time to watch too, man.
I do like Tennessee. Tennessee. I do.
Yeah.
I do, man. You know what? And I like Tennessee because there's an actual like SC, because I'm a Notre Dame fan. There's an actual Tennessee Notre Dame rivalry that's happened throughout, the last 25, 30 years. And I like what the coach is doing out there. I like how they're recruiting. I was a big fan of watching them play this year just because of their quarterback play. What was his last name? Starts with an H.
Henderson.
Was it Henderson? I think you're right. It was Henderson. If not, I'll make sure we get that corrected on the next show.
Yeah.
Or was it Hendon?
Maybe.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Either way, everybody knows who we're talking about. But to get back to it, I think LSU has it this upcoming year. I don't think Nick regains the top of the hill, and I think it's LSU, man.
All right, man. So I only got about 2 minutes left of this segment, so
yep.
I'm just gonna jump into college football real quick. I given you a list. It was Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, USC, Tennessee, LSU, Penn State, Florida State, and Utah. And then I put other. And I said, who do you think is going to be your top 5 at the end of the year? So what do you think? Or 2 early predictions, as we call it.
Okay, so listen, it's going to come down to 2 SEC teams and then 2 Big Ten teams and then fill in the 5th. and then go ahead and fill in the fifth. You throw in anybody out of the top, below top 5 that could potentially win out and get that fifth spot. But I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be in no particular order. It's gonna be LSU, Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State. Put in the fifth. Put in the fifth. It doesn't really matter because one of those 4 teams, in my opinion, based off of what I saw last year, what they did for recruiting this year, and how it's going to be looking this upcoming season as far as scheduling, I just see that those are the teams that are just going to they're just going to rock shop, and you're going to have head-on collisions. And even with a loss either or for their championship, they're still going to get into the playoffs. I honestly feel that. I feel that in my bones, man. I do. I think it's Michigan, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, and then put in a fifth.
If
another
LSU
SEC team, another Big Ten team, maybe USC out of the Pac-12. They got that hot shot quarterback. You got Oregon, who was hot last year with the Auburn transfer quarterback who had an awesome game. Ended up in New York as a Heisman finalist. Put in a fifth. Put in a fifth. But those are my 4. I can't give you 5, but I can give you 4.
I see a scenario where LSU only has 1 loss. They go to the SEC championship, lose to Georgia, and get left out of the playoffs. I see that scenario happen.
You're telling me a 1-loss LSU team, if it's a close game to Georgia, they don't make it in? Dude,
I didn't say that. I said they go in to the SEC championship with 1 loss. They lose to Georgia, and then I think they get left out of the playoffs. And I think what ends up happening is a team like Alabama or someone in the West that possibly has a 1 loss ends up sneaking through because of that. That's what I hate.
I hate that, and you could be right. That's if LSU gets 1 loss.
Right.
That's if LSU gets 1 loss.
Right. But come next year, you won't have to worry about that.
Right. I just
playoffs.
Me personally, what I see is an LSU, Georgia, and a Michigan, Ohio State, going head to head, and still somehow keeping things so close between the 4 of them that they still end up situated in that top 5. And you could even move like your Oregon and your USC into like the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 spot. But I still think that those 4 teams are the core of your top 5 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think your top 4 ends up being I don't know. I do see a conference, either the Big Ten or SEC, squeezing 2 teams in, but I don't see both of them squeezing 2 teams in. I just something's going to happen. It always does. So I think the more realistic is Ohio State, Michigan, because if you look at their schedules, it's pretty. Ohio State's schedule's not that hard either. So I think they could really easily, with 1 loss, get back in like they did last year.
Right.
The SEC is a little bit trickier. I think the West they're going to end up beating the crap out of each other. I think everybody's probably a year away from catching up with Georgia. So Georgia ends up probably finding a way in. And then I think you get another oddball team like not TCU, but you'll have another team like USC or someone like that, Utah, someone that finds a way to get, to be Georgia's warm-up team if that ends up being the case. But we'll see, hell, if Georgia drops 2 losses, then, hey, this is a whole nother conversation, right? So
right. No, absolutely. So we're sitting at about 54 minutes right now. I want to make sure that we keep this under 60. We will talk about this other topic that you got going on. Go ahead and read off that question that we didn't get to on your list, and we'll go ahead and talk about that on the next show.
Yeah, that's cool. So closing you want me to read it now?
Yeah, just read that one question that you got there, the what impact question you got.
Yeah, I said, what impact does Sam Hartman give for Notre Dame? He's a transfer from Wake Forest, the quarterback. So, yeah, we can get to that one at the next episode.
We'll definitely get to that one. Okay, so we got about 3, maybe 4 minutes here to mess around with this one. So this was something that, oh, man, I definitely want to hear what you have to say about this. Please, the mic is yours, man.
So they did. Cam Newton came out this week and said that because of his fashion style and his dreads, that's why he's not getting a job in the NFL. Bro, you suck at throwing. You literally can't read a defense. You can't throw anymore. Like when he came to New England, I had so much hope for Cam Newton. Like I wanted it, like because I was like, Brady's gone. We need something. If Cam's that transition guy, cool, whatever. Cam came in when he first started and he had his first game. It was like, all right, not too bad. They did a lot of running plays with him. But then after that, he got COVID and he comes back and he's just trash, man. He can't make throws for nothing. And then it's like, this is why they go and draft a quarterback. And then he gets beat out by a damn rookie and he gets cut from the team. So anyway, it is absolutely ridiculous that this guy believes that because of his dreads and his fashion style that he's not getting a job in the NFL. Nobody wants your drama. They don't want you in there causing all kinds of crap that you bring along with your baggage. And then for the second part, hell, most of the backup quarterbacks probably are better than Cam Newton at this point. So I don't understand this dog and pony show with him anymore. He goes to Auburn's pro day. I mean, he does a Kaepernick thing where nobody gives a crap. Like, there wasn't one NFL scout that was like, oh, man, look, all of a sudden Cam Newton reverted back to 2015 where he can throw again. No. I mean, this dude is delusional. Like, hang it up. Go to the XFL. Like, for real. Seriously, go to the XFL.
He literally went on some show, something athletics. It's a podcast. He literally said he's better than the 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds on this. If I'm not getting hired because my hair is messed up, which I don't have an issue with, but apparently you do, and your style, maybe, just maybe, why don't we get rid of those two issues? Because if your style and your hair is more important than a career, shut up. Otherwise, cut your hair, change your style, get a job. If that is in fact the case. But me personally, I think it's a lot of race baiting, in my opinion. You're using your dreads as a reason to say, oh, look at me. I can't get a job. I can't get a job because of my hair and my style. And also your style, dude, no offense. It's a whole bunch of 90% of the people that watch the NFL are males. I don't want to see you wearing a shawl and grandma glasses in a dress. Like, I don't want to see it, dude. I don't want to see that. So yeah, if you want a job, Cam, and here's the other thing too, he's trying to get a job now in a network, maybe doing like announcing or analyzing or something like that. Same thing. I'm not getting this job because of my hair. I'm not getting this job because of my style. Shut up and change it. Maybe. I don't know. All right. That's it. Cam, you've officially pissed me off, dude. You've officially pissed me off. All right. You got like 60 seconds, Bird. Finish it out, man.
Oh, that's all I had to say about that, man. That's it. I mean, if that guy thinks that he's better than
32
quarterbacks, come on, man. There ain't no way. Look, he had his chance. His shoulder's done. Carolina beat him into the ground. It sucks for him, but that career's over with. Hit the XFL, bro.
All right, my man. Well, hey, check it out. This is my boy Bird right here. Rory right here. Curbside Sports. We'll be back at it again next Wednesday. Love y'all. Later, Bird.
Peace out, bro.